y'all, welcome back. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited to be back sitting here talking all things entertainment with you guys. Besides, I wonder what we're going to be talking about today. What do you think we're talking about today? I don't know. Yeah. Well, today I am joined by Judah Edwards. He plays young Tito Jackson in the #1 movie in the world, Michael. Let me know in the chat if you have seen it, or the comments, wherever you're watching. This is his first feature film, but Judah's already stepping into the spotlight in a major way. We're going to get into that as well. But also, this conversation is extra special because his father, attorney Lennon Edwards, is joining us as well. So we're going to talk about that aspect as a parent who's also an attorney dealing with their child going into the entertainment industry. Y'all, we're going to dig all into it. So you don't want to go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome to Check the Rhymes. It is so good to see both of you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, glad to be here. Thank you for having us.
It is so insane that I was just sitting in the theater, Judah, seeing you as Tito Jackson. And Tito has been a guest on Check the Rhymes, and I've interviewed him over the years multiple times.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I have a confession. I have a picture in my living room. It is a blown up picture of me, Tito, Marlon, and Jackie.
Wow. That's crazy. I met Marlon and Jackie. We were all staying at the same hotel during the premiere. So before we left for the carpet, I got to meet Marlon and Jackie. Great guys, great energy.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's talk about that. So you're playing young Tito Jackson and Michael. When you found out that you booked that role, what went through your mind?
It didn't feel real. Like, I think as actors, you can stay in the headspace of chasing something for so long and you finally catch it. It's just like, it doesn't feel like you're really holding, like the weight doesn't actually set in until you actually get on set and meet all your castmates and everything. So,
yeah. Well, Dad, Lennon, what was that moment like for you watching your son land such a role that is like connected to one of the most iconic families in music?
It was actually a surreal moment, like he said. I reflect back now as we're talking about it to the auditions. And the audition process was incredible because I didn't know that there were that many people in the world who looked like they belonged to the Jackson family. I mean, it was incredible. And there were so many talented people, singers, dancers, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
That when we went to the auditions, it was like you had no idea whether you got it or not. And what they were looking for, and that's the thing about young actors and even people who are established and trying to make it, they have a particular thing that they're looking for when you walk into an audition.
Right.
And now you can wow them, but they're still looking for a particular thing.
Exactly.
And on this particular occasion, Judah brought everything that they needed to the table, and it was just, it was a match made in heaven. It was perfect.
All right.
Well, now I got to know, Judah, what did you do in that audition?
No, he's hyped me up. To be so real with you, because I don't know if I shared this, but during the very last callback, they brought in the choreographers, Rich and Tone, and they broke down ABC for us. No, what we were doing. Never Can Say Goodbye. Never Can Say Goodbye. That's what they broke down for us, and they called us up 5 by 5, up to the mics, and then we would do it for Antoine was there. I think Graham was there. I think Giuliano had already been casted, so he was sitting there watching us, and I think he jumped in at some point. But I could not get these dance steps, like, for the life of me. But Antoine kept me out there. So he would call up kids to the mics to run it, and I would keep messing up every time until eventually I finally got it towards the end. But we did have a good conversation towards the end of that callback. He brought me in one-on-one, and he sat me down. Yes, me and Antoine. And he sat me down and he asked me if I could play guitar. And then he asked me, he told me I wouldn't have to play live, but he was like, can you make it look like you can play guitar? And we talked about a bunch of things that had nothing to do with the project. He really got to know me as a person. That conversation let me leave the audition feeling good about my work.
All I can think of is, and I'm sure you both have seen the Jacksons in American Dream, when Marlon is trying to get those steps and he keeps falling on the ground. That's what I was imagining.
I actually made it a point not to watch American Dream when I booked this, so I wouldn't be trying to like copy anything that they did. I really
Yeah.
wanted to have my own take. But now that that's over, I'm definitely gonna take some time and watch it.
And
Yeah.
as it turned out, um, as soon as we came back from that last audition, we had this hope, right? This sense that it could be. So we started working towards it right away. Judah actually
Oh
got a
yeah.
guitar. He started learning how to play because
Yeah.
he did
Wow.
have to learn ultimately. He did have to learn how to play. And he just started drilling and that became his best friend. That
Yeah.
and the Game Boy,
Yeah. This was before they even told me I booked it. So I got back and just took the initiative just in case I book it. Let me just, start messing around with the guitar, see what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, preparing for success.
Yeah. What is the saying? If you stay ready, you
You don't
don't
have
have to
to
get
get
ready.
ready. That's right.
I love that. So, what did you focus on, Judah, when trying to capture the essence of Tito Jackson? I don't know if did you watch any YouTube videos or did you watch what was it? There was a reality show, Jackson.
I heard about that. I did hear about
Yeah.
that. I did not watch the reality show, but Tito had done an interview with Vlad TV, and then there was some old recordings that I found on YouTube. Before I even got the script, which I was right when I read the script, before I got the script, I understood that I'd be acting within an ensemble. So the biggest thing for me was like, yes, who is Tito as a person, but also how does he interact with his brothers? Because I know rarely I doubted that there would be a time that I was on screen and that Marlon, Jackie, and Jermaine would not be right on screen with me, So it was kind of understanding how he fit within all of them. That was my biggest job.
Okay. Are you an only child?
No, I have an older sister.
Oh, okay. So you're familiar with the sibling
Yeah, yeah, and
dynamic.
and I have
Okay.
I have, I have places to pull from. I know how it is to be, in a group setting.
Okay. All right. Dad, so what I keep calling you Dad, Lennon.
It's all right.
um,
I answer to that. Counselor, a lot of things.
Attorney Edwards.
Yes.
So were you a fan? I'm sure you were, but were you a fan of the Jacksons? And if so, was there anything that you shared with Judah? Like, this is what I saw, watching the Jackson Five or the Jacksons, any of that?
Well, yes, definitely a fan. I mean, I could reflect on my first impression, Michael Jackson. I want to say it was hearing songs like ABC,
Mm.
either on Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids when I was a kid, or
Oh,
on
yeah.
Soul Train and Jackson 5 perform. So there were a few different settings, but the one that sealed the deal was Motown 25.
Yeah.
Mm.
When I saw that coupled with the Billie Jean video, I mean, Michael Jackson was just the man. So
Right.
any move that he could do, I wanted to be able to do it. And Judah and I used to listen to the songs and dance a lot when he was younger, and I could actually beat him in a dance contest.
That I don't know about that, but my first memory of Michael Jackson is us on my mom's side. We have family down in Louisiana, so I'm sitting in my grandma's house in Louisiana in the living room, and my dad calls me over. I'm sitting in his lap, and he's playing me the video of Motown 25 Billie Jean. Now, he had actually turned the sound down. He would not let me hear the song because at its core, Billie Jean is about not claiming your child. So he turned down the music. But I was just watching the way that Mike moved and I was fascinated. And for the rest of that week, I was moonwalking down that long hall with all the bedrooms. I'd be trying to moonwalk and I asked Ellie, how am I doing, all that stuff. So, but that was my first experience with Michael Jackson. I was just fascinated. Like everybody, I was fascinated.
Yeah, I love that. I love
I
that.
heard, I heard Tito in an interview describe himself as, I believe he said, the totally incredible, talented one,
Mhm.
something like that. And you can be in an ensemble
Mhm.
and still find your identity in there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just part of that is who you are as a person and just locking into that. And Judah had to do that to capture who Tito was, because as you saw, as his career evolved, he did things on his own and he was
Mhm.
successful at it.
Right. Yeah, that was one of the things that Tito and I had an opportunity to talk about before he passed
Mhm.
was his solo work, because he said for the longest time he said he heard the jokes that people were making, like, "Oh, you're the only Jackson that hasn't put out a solo album," and he was like, "I had a family to raise," and he did it in his own time, in his own way, and the projects were amazing. So it was definitely worth the wait, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So, Lennon, as a lawyer, you understand contracts, business, and protecting people in major moments. So, how did your legal background shape the way that you supported Judah through this process without, being too much like lawyer, but you're still dad being the cheerleader?
So I think as a dad, it's hard to take that hat off in anything that you do, especially for someone that you love and you care about. So I think number one with him, just pushing him to be his best and trying to do that by example, letting him know that no matter what happens, that he has the protection of his parents, letting him know that uh, in order to be successful, you need support. And so support for him meant in any way that he needed it. And some of the things that happened were every time there was a contract that came across.
That was the big thing. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, if you didn't say that, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time there was a contract that showed up, my wife would slide it across the table, be like, "Here, handle this," right? So I would look at it, and I'm always looking at it from the vantage point of the person who is not just an artist, but he's my son. And how can I protect him and make sure that his interests are served in this and that he has an opportunity to grow from this to the next opportunity. So from that standpoint, that's the lawyer and the dad combined.
Yeah. Yeah, I always felt secure, obviously, as a 17-year-old or even 15-year-old at the time we were shooting. I don't know how to interpret contracts. And then, you have people around you, managers, agents, and everything. But it was different for me knowing that somebody that like really has my best interests at heart was looking over the contracts, making sure I was good.
I love that. So, Lennon, also, what advice can you give parents? Because, I've seen a lot of parents on social media have been talking about getting their kids into different aspects of the entertainment industry. Is there anything that parents should know before they start saying yes to opportunities for their kids?
Um, so a couple things. Number one, recognize whether your child really has talent.
Of
And even before talent, I'd say recognize whether they have an interest,
Mm.
because there's nothing good that comes out of forcing someone to do something that they don't enjoy. I had Judah and my daughter in martial arts, which is something I love, and I forced them to do it. And then there came a time where they, not so graciously, they expressed that they were done. But the day Judah was 6 years old when he was on stage for the first time. I mean, he did other things indirectly, but he had lines, he was a character, he's in front of an audience at 6. And the minute, when I say I'm like 10 seconds in, I immediately had this sense inside, that's it. That's his thing. And because the signs are there, he was so at peace, and the audience was reacting to him like he was a professional. And that interplay told me not only is he enjoying it, but he's being enjoyed. His talents are being appreciated, even at this age, even with what he's doing. And with that interest, when he was 10, he did on and off, but he was 10. I think we were in New Orleans, and I was walking with my wife, and we were just talking about our kids. And we hit a moment where I just said, you know what? He's just got to go for it. He's just got to go. And there's not going to be with anything, name it, name an athlete, name a sport, name a whatever, whoever's successful, there are always going to be moments where they don't want to do what they're doing, right? I said, even if he has those days, I don't care. He's got to do it because the talent is there, and you have a responsibility to cultivate and develop your talent, and then use your talent for your God-given talent for whatever assignment you have. So my wife made sure Jude was signed up, and he attended, and this lesson, that lesson, voice lessons, all these other things. And then we began to see other talents develop, not just acting, but he sings, and I can sing, but he can sing like times 10. Okay, like times 10. I have a musical interest. I can play. I show Judah something, a week and a half later, he's able to do what it took me 8 years to figure out.
Wow.
He just naturally picks up other things, and one talent feeds the other.
Mhm.
So recognize whether they have an interest, recognize whether they have a gift for it, and then give them the platforms, give them the opportunities, and support them through that. And if they keep doing it and you keep seeing that growth, then take it to the next level. We had an opportunity to have Judah work at a company called Performance Theater Workshop. We had him. He worked with a theater company called Vanguard. He had opportunities and platforms to be able to express and grow and have other people teach him and get a variety of mentors and see himself succeed. Because in order to do well at something, you also have to see yourself succeed, right? And he got a chance to do that. So I think if you're a parent and you love your kid and they have an interest in it and you give all of those ingredients, I think that you will see them shine and you'll see them grow and develop into whatever it may be.
I think that is great advice. I was just speaking with a young lady. I was visited a school, I think that was last week, and she was saying she really wanted to be an actress. She's
Right.
done some things on YouTube, and I was blown away by what she showed me, even just putting together. It was something animated that she just thought of and put it together. And so I said, what are you doing to make this happen? And she said, well, my mom said you that I can't be an actress. And it just broke my heart because it really like she literally like you could see she really wanted to do that. So I'm gonna tell her, listen to this, show your mom this interview. Because I think that that is the key right there. Like maybe her mom will change her mind. I don't know. Um, but Judah, you're also doing big things, graduating from high school and going to Hampton University on a full ride.
Oh,
Congratulations.
look at that. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
So how are you processing? It seems like a lot of good things right now. So how are you processing all this?
Um, I'm taking it one day at a time. I realized like, and my mom was breaking this down to me. I'm in the number one movie in the world. I got prom, graduations, my senior year. I'm going to HBCU, yeah, I'm really just soaking it all up. This is a great time in my life, and I'm seeing the fruits of a lot of work that I put in throughout my years in high school and throughout my life right now. So it's just a reminder to keep working hard.
So everyone's going to want to know, what are you going to major in? Do you know?
Yes, yes. I'll be majoring in marketing. I have immigrant parents. They want me to have that business aspect as well
Oh
as
yeah.
the artsy stuff. So,
Great plan. That's a great plan. So speaking of the movie being the number one movie, what does that feel like for both of you? I mean, I saw it and I was blown away. I was the one that dressed up and I have my glove and everything.
um,
What was that I just heard? Hee hee. I just heard you. I heard you.
Right, Shimon now.
Say, all right.
okay. I would just say, with it being the number one movie in the world, I don't know, that feels good. Like we made this movie for Michael Jackson fans. Like it's not for the critics, it's not for people that want to, find dirt on Michael Jackson. It's really for people that love Michael Jackson. And for people that are fans of Michael Jackson and love him from the large majority, 97% you might say,
Yeah.
love this movie, and that makes me feel like as a storyteller, as an actor, everybody came together and it's a job well done.
One thing I have heard is people say the casting was on point.
100%.
And I
100%.
agree.
100%. I have to give kudos to the
Casting director.
casting director, Vicky. She amazing, amazing. And
Mhm.
you knew it. We were while they were filming, during one of our downtimes, the kids, we all went to a mall. And I think it was a Malik bookstore. And Common was there, right? He was doing a
Yeah,
book
doing a book
signing.
signing. Yeah. And before we told him, it was all of us there. We had actually
Yeah,
just left um studio lot and we were doing like a little showcase with the producers,
yeah,
which went well. So
yep.
we all went to to go out and celebrate. We went to the mall and we stopped at this book signing. This Common was there.
And Jennifer Hudson,
yes,
right?
and Jennifer Hudson, yes. But before we could say what we were
He's like, oh, and her too.
no, yes, amazing. But I'm trying to get to the So yeah, before we could say what we were working on, he pointed. He was like, "Y'all working on that thing with Antoine? Y'all working on the Jackson 5 thing?" And I actually started panicking. They make fun of me for this to this day, but I started panicking. I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're not supposed to know that. We got NDAs." I was like,
Yep.
"Yeah, I definitely started panicking."
That's exactly. I was thinking NDAs.
Yeah. Our dog wants to make a little cameo right now.
Oh, how funny.
Judah, this is Judah's pet.
Yes.
He asked for this dog.
And he
this dog right here. This Rottweiler.
Oh, hi, Judah's pet. What's his name?
Creed.
Creed.
Creed's in the interview. All right, there you go.
Okay. I think y'all heard him barking anyway, so we might as well just let him have his
Speaking of the NDAs, how was that having to keep this?
Oh my God.
I'll be honest. I did not.
For some people, it was hard.
I did not keep. I shouldn't say this, but I low-key did not keep the secret from two people. It was my best friends. I called them in the hotel room because I had already told them about the audition. Like technically, before any NDAs were signed and before I'd actually booked the thing. Like I told them, I'm like, yo, I got this audition for this Michael Jackson thing. Like I'm through the moon right now. I tell them pray for me. I tell them that kind of stuff was big. And I was in the hotel room. I was like, yeah. I booked it. Like I'm sitting in LA for 6 months. Like you're gonna suspect something. So I just told them at that time. But other than that, kept everything very hush mode. And I told everybody at my school that one of my family members in Jamaica was sick and that I had to go visit them for like 4 months. Yeah,
that's a good one.
I don't know if they believed it. I guess they all just kind of had to accept it. But
that was the student body. His school was actually incredibly supportive in terms of the leadership.
Yes.
Because we had to make an arrangement with them where the teachers were going to allow them to send the work to the set. It's hired. He would have to do all of his studies there, take tests, etc. And he actually had a average that semester.
Wow.
And killed the dance steps and killed the learn how to play the guitar and just everything. So he was clicking on all cylinders. And very disciplined.
Yeah.
As a parent, I kept very disciplined. Very disciplined for those 6 months.
And when I'm going through anything tough, he'll bring that. He's like, Judah, you learned dance steps, you maintained an A average. Like that's his go-to. Anytime I'm struggling with something, he'll remind me.
Stop saying you can't.
Yes.
That's right.
Another
you have no excuses. You did all this.
For sure.
So is there, now that a lot of people have seen the film, is there a scene that stands out, whether it's a scene you were in or just out of the entire movie? Do you have a favorite scene?
My favorite scene, I'll say two scenes. Number one, I think the scene where I got the most shine was maybe the whooping scene, because when Juliana was being disciplined, they panned the camera over to me, and the number one thing after I'm going to see it with friends, the number one thing that they commented, like, you really look surprised, like you really looked like you were watching somebody, get disciplined. So I think that was my that was the scene where my chop showed a little bit, and then my favorite scene was probably Human Nature. That's not even my favorite Michael Jackson song, but the way Jafar just embodied like his mannerisms, his facial mannerisms, like all that stuff. Because Human Nature is not even dance heavy relative to the other numbers like Beat It and Billie Jean. It's not really dance heavy, but he's singing and all his mannerisms really just made me feel like I was watching Michael. Like you feel like you're floating when you see that scene, and it's not just because of the song. Jafar really brought that to life.
Like, did you read my review? Because I literally said I felt like I was watching Michael Jackson.
Absolutely. I think that's something I've been hearing from everybody, which again, it just warms my heart to hear that.
Yeah. How about you, Lennon? What do you have a favorite scene from the movie?
My favorite scene of Judah is you were playing the guitar, they panned on you. I'm trying to remember which song it was. But it was the one with the bop.
Oh. So he's talking about Big Boy in the beginning. That's actually my least favorite scene, because that's where we have to be bad on purpose, before we get developed by Motown and everything. So sometimes watching that scene is tough for me to watch myself. But
I think it's that one. But song-wise, Human Nature is one of my favorite songs. And There's just something in the song, something
Yeah.
in the music, that's almost tangible.
Hmm.
And one thing that I realized once we got to the set, and we had been there maybe a few days, this, and parents ought to realize this too with anything that kids get involved in. Entertainment is business.
Yes.
It is a business, and the people who are at the top of the food chain, the people who are working on projects, especially of this size, it's creative, yes, but it's business.
Hmm.
So you have to be ready,
Mm.
you have to be on time, you have to be punctual, you have to know your lines. This is not for the people who want to sleep late and not put in the work and take it easy. You will be replaced. So you need to treat it, just because you start a project doesn't mean you're going to be the person who finishes it, right? So you have to be
Yeah.
consistently, persistently working on your craft and on yourself. And after a few days, that became very, very clear. But beyond that, this specific project with Michael, there was like this, like magic in the air. I mean, it's hard to put into words what it felt like, but understand this. Somebody who was doing makeup on Judah is the same person who did makeup for the Jackson 5 decades ago, right? People heard about this being done,
Yeah.
this movie,
And
and they
came from
wanted to be a
all four
part of it.
corners. Yeah.
And they were a
Yeah.
part of the Jacksons family, a part of their, when I say family, this
The
the
team,
entertainment
yeah.
family.
Makeup, hair.
And
Right.
they showed up, and just between the conversations and the experiences and the closeness that they had to Michael and to the family, you felt like you were a continuation of that. And I think that every time the guys danced, every time that they talked with Tone and Rich and Antoine and everybody else, there was that common thread flowing through. So there was like this stream of energy that was coming in. And then every time the kids got a chance to see Jafar, uh,
Hmm.
Oh,
like
that
there were
was so much
days.
motivation. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
there
that.
were days.
We got to see some footage of what may be in part two, some songs, which I won't say. But
Hmm.
he came in one day before we had to rehearse, and he did a number that a lot of people love. And I hope y'all get to see this. I
Yes,
hope y'all get to see this. Y'all deserve to see
yes,
this as fans.
yes.
But he did it, and something, I don't use this word loosely because I have my own spiritual life, but something spiritual genuinely happened when he did that number. And then
Wow.
it just fueled us to go into our number,
Yeah,
even harder. But yeah, Jafar, I mean, just walked down this road. Like, whether you have positive reviews or negative reviews of the movie, nobody can criticize
that's right.
Jafar's work ethic or embodiment of Michael. I mean,
That's right.
everybody. I think that's the one unanimous thing about this film. Even though people have so many different perceptions of Michael and there's so many eras of his life,
Hmm.
everybody can agree, like, yo, Jafar killed us.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That is all I've seen everywhere is give Jafar his awaards and everything
Him as
because it's
Oscar.
so.
Yeah.
Thank you. Run that.
Yeah.
Run that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you
And
need
I've seen.
representation,
Right. And I've and I've seen people say that it literally felt like watching it felt like Michael just kind of came back and took over.
yeah,
Like it is hard to describe just even being in the theater watching it.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, and I do hope we've all been speculating, like, does this mean there's a part two? But it sounds like maybe not.
I
they
think
should. I
so.
think
Yeah, they
it
definitely.
should
Yeah,
happen.
I think the fans deserve it, and I think Jafar deserves it because there is some footage out there of him killing some numbers that deserves to be shown. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, the Jacksons overall, and I'm that kid that was doing book reports on the Jacksons because I was convinced they were my long lost family and that's where I was supposed to be. But I loved their journey, just everything about all the Jacksons. And obviously a huge part of their story is their legacy. So what does legacy mean to both of you?
Legacy. I say legacy means definitely leaving something behind. That's more than like a memory. Like I think a lot of people are caught up in memory, like will I be remembered? But I think the biggest thing you can do is leave some kind of impact behind on the generation behind you that's positive. Even if people don't necessarily know you, if you can make a positive impact, on that generation without maybe even being credited for it, I think that's legacy to me.
Hmm.
I like that definition. I like that.
Yeah, that's a great. I love
Yeah.
that.
Your parents must be doing something right. Uh, um, so I'm an attorney, and I came here to the United States when I was very young, and I had a dream of becoming an attorney. For me, I decided that at age 14, and I've stayed true to that, focused on that, and that happened. In my professional practice, I help people who are injured, seriously injured. I represent them, and I'm able to get very successful outcomes for them. That's 80% of what I do. The other 20% of what I do is representing and defending celebrities and other high profile people who get sued. And one of the things that I find very common in what I do is that there's passion and there's compassion. I think that legacy is affecting people's lives in a way that makes them feel like people even when you're gone. It's doing something for people that their children's children can benefit from. And in some instances, that's money. In some instances, that's just somebody who stopped to care. In some instances, it's getting answers that they could not have gotten on their own. But in all instances, legacy is making a difference for somebody other than yourself. And you know, that's what in our household we strive to do that. We
Mhm.
succeed so that we can help others, right? If your cup overflows, it spills out onto others and everybody benefits. So that's to me is legacy.
I love both of these definitions. I really do. And I have to ask y'all about this though before we go. I have like a couple more questions, but everybody has been talking about Coleman Domingo's portrayal of Joe Jackson.
Yes.
I
Yes.
wanted to know your thoughts. Did he scare y'all as much as he scared me the moment he came on the screen?
I have to be honest. Yeah, okay, yes. There were times where I was like, oh damn, because I could tell a switch flipped, like
Uh-huh.
I seen him between takes, he'd be on his phone and then the camera flips on and I'm like, oh shoot, like who is this? But culturally, like we've experienced stern guidance. Like that's just
Yeah.
something like I know Joe Jackson is kind of like an extreme end of discipline. At least that's how he's viewed culturally. But with us, you know what I mean? Like we
Right.
all, you got stern aunties, grandfathers, like you will have some kind of guidance in your life that is stern. So I kind of experienced that. Now on the acting side, he really set the tone for all of us. Like
Hmm.
dinner scenes and all of us interacting, he brought an energy that was so strong that it just filled the room. So now it's like, okay, like we really are family. This is my father. Like it just became real with his energy. He made it so easy for us.
Did you feel like you were even in that like the dinner table? Were you like, okay, now he's making me nervous. He's scary a little bit because he
Yeah.
just brought that.
Yeah, his energy definitely made a difference. Like, I'll be real with you. The five of us on set, we were bad. Like, we'd running around with snacks. Like, but when we were at that dinner table with Coleman, even camera on or off, we were not
Hmm.
playing around. We was having constructive conversation. We were on task about the scene. Like, yeah, his energy made a significant difference.
What about you, Lennon? What are your thoughts about Coleman Domingo, Joe Jackson?
I think he's a phenomenal actor. Can't get enough of him. Every project that he's in is
Mhm.
superb. I mean, he's
Yeah.
phenomenal. I had conversations with him when he would arrive on set, and conversations with him when he was leaving set. I tried to give Judah room to operate when he was filming and not draw any parental conclusions about anything. But I could tell, just from interacting with Coleman, just what a master he is of his craft. And for all of the guys who work there, from Lorenz Tate, just everyone, each of them took time with the young men who played the young Jackson Five to interact with them and impart something to them to help them with their careers and just their mindset.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just, that's legacy, right? So that's great to have happen. And what a place to have that happen on the Michael set.
Yeah.
So with that being said, was there anything, like we said before, this film was for the Michael Jackson fans, but do you think there's anything in the film that you didn't know before filming, or something you learned while filming that you didn't know? Lennon, I'll start with you because Judah looks like he's thinking.
For me, I focused on as a kid, I focused on Michael's dance moves,
Hmm.
focused on his vocal ability. I did not realize the extent to which he was a child who was uh, disciplined so severely
Hmm.
and lived in terror of somebody who was supposed to love him.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say people show love different ways.
Hmm.
And it made me look at his father differently. It
Hmm.
made me think about the role of a father because you want strength,
Right.
discipline,
Hmm.
but there's a safe zone that you want your kids to feel safe because you're there, not terrified
Right.
because you're there.
Hmm.
And I know discipline brings out the best in people, but at what cost? What price did he pay? And that's what
Hmm.
I learned about Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I think I said this in another interview, but I think we often give Michael credit as somebody being talented and a hard worker. I think those are two
Hmm.
things that we give them. Like you think of hard workers, you think of Beyonce, Prince, Aretha Franklin, people that are very tedious about their work, right?
Right.
But I think learning about Michael's self-belief, like I think there's this whole thing with manifestation in
Hmm.
this generation. And I'll be honest, I was raised hard work and prayer. Like those are my two things that I know intertwine with each other. But the mantras, like the way he would, let himself like I'm the greatest of all time. Like you see him saying those things about himself.
Right.
And I think we often don't give him credit. Like we give him credit as the greatest of all time,
Hmm.
we need to give him credit as the fact that he saw himself as that before, he really was that. Like he really walked into what he thought he was, before it happened. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah. There was something one of my friends asked me, and I'm going to ask you guys this too. When I left the movie, she said, "What did you learn that you can apply to your own life?" And I was like, "Girl, I just went to see Michael." I'm like, I don't. But then I thought about it, and it was actually what you just said for me, that I need to see myself where I'm trying to be.
Absolutely.
And and I thought, yeah, I got to do a better job about that. So I was like, that's what I learned that I could apply in my own life. Was there anything that either of you learned that you could apply in your own life?
I would actually say something different. For me, like Michael just walked in his purpose from day one till his final day, like music,
Yeah.
dancing, and singing. Like I feel like he is the exemplification of what can happen for you
Mhm.
if you give something 100%. Like a lot of people give, they give things 99%, 98%, but Michael gave it 100% on top of his talent and on top of some luck and on top of some prayer. And you see where that brought him. So I think that was the takeaway. But yeah, I have to say, I thought people would just be enjoying Michael, but people
Mhm.
have been saying like, yo, this movie shifted my perspective.
Yeah, it
Shifted my
did.
perspective on life, my motivation. I'm like, that's amazing.
Hmm. Yeah. How about you, Lennon?
I would say just everybody has an assignment, and the sooner you find what your assignment is, and the more committed you are to it, you will fulfill it against all odds. I feel like Michael overcame. He overcame things, and he knew what he had to overcome. Sometimes people are fighting and they don't know what they're fighting. They don't know what they're fighting for.
Right.
He knew what he was fighting, and he knew what he was fighting for, and he overcame, and he was successful, and his life deserved to be celebrated.
Absolutely. I do find that one of the scenes that people seem stuck on is when he wanted to play Twister with his brothers. I don't know if you guys have seen all the memes and the skits based off of that scene alone. And
Yeah.
it tickles me, but it also at the same time, it just again showed us how lonely he was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, I have to know, I know you guys mentioned we've mentioned human nature, but what is your favorite Michael Jackson song and favorite Jackson 5 song?
Okay, right now, I was actually listening to this last night and I was like, damn, like we will never have another Michael Jackson. But I was listening to Remember the Time. The way he brings it from the start of the bridge to the end with the ad libs and then he just starts like drumming like at the end of the song. Yeah, that's my favorite Michael Jackson song, very passionate. Favorite Jackson 5 song, I would say either You've Changed or Never Can Say Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then
Favorite Michael Jackson song to me is still Billie Jean.
Hmm.
I still love that. When that bass line comes on, what are you gonna do? You can't sit still.
Right, exactly.
Jackson 5 song, I still love like ABC.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
just it's just a nice groove.
yeah.
It's a nice groove.
Yeah. Is there anything about Tito Jackson that either of you want people to know and remember him about him?
I will give a little fun fact. His real name is actually Toriano. So the first
Yeah.
time Coleman came to set and he asked everybody to introduce themselves, I said Toriano. He was like, nope. I was like, oh, okay. He didn't even know that. So I was like, ST.
I don't know if Tito chose to learn to play the guitar or if Joe Jackson put it in his hand and told him he was going to have to learn to play the
I
guitar.
actually do know the answer to that. He chose to play it and then he broke it. And then Joe came home and found it. It's like a whole origin story, but you know.
So I was going to say, but he put his mind to it, and I'm from a generation where you do what you put your mind to, and he did it. So he's just a great example of that.
Yeah, this was such a fun interview. Lennon, where can people find you if they need some legal advice?
So I'm at the Edwards Firm, and you can find me at the edwardsfirmny.com. So www.edwardsfirmny.com.
Okay. And Judah, are you on social media or where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at the_Judah_Edwards.
I want to thank you both for I know I kept you longer than I planned to because I just started asking 1,000 questions, but I want to thank you both for coming here on Check the Rhymes and chatting with me. This has been a fun thing. I had planned to keep this glove on. I had planned to dress up, but I didn't want to scare y'all off.
It's all right.
Thank you for having us
Yeah,
on.
thank
We're
you for
so
having us.
delighted that we were able to be a part of this, and continued success to you and all that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. And continued success to you both. And I'm excited, Judah, to see what happens for you next. I'm going to be paying attention.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.